New Gen Prebuilt PCs are here, with new graphics cards from Nvidia and AMD in the RTX 5000 series and RX 9000 lineup. Right now is an amazing time to buy a new Gen Prebuilt PC, especially considering that these graphics cards are either out of stock or the pricing is super high because of scalpers. So buying a new Prebuilt PC if you want one of these graphics cards is, in my opinion, the smartest decision. I'll show you a new Gen Prebuilt PC at every budget and monitor resolution, including 1080p, 1440p and 4K, and I'll tell you about the level of gaming performance that you can expect with each system. Now, the links for all of these new Gen Prebuilt PCs will be down below in the video description with the latest pricing and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. With the first PC, we have the Shadow gaming system from Amazon. This one has the newest RX 9070 graphics card from AMD, which is a beast of a 1440p graphics card. This PC will be ideal if you want to play at 1440p high to ultra settings, no matter the type of game really, because you will be able to average over 100 FPS when it comes to high demanding titles at this resolution. Of course, if you want to play at 1080p, you can expect even higher frame rates, and I'm talking about over 140 FPS at 1080p resolution in high demanding titles. And in terms of esports shooters like Fortnite or Valorant, you can expect over 240 plus FPS on average in competitive settings in most of these esports shooters at 1440p. So feel free to go with a 240Hz 1440p monitor if you want to mainly play those type of games. Here you also get DDR5 memory, a 1TB SSD and an Intel i5 14th gen processor. Now, this system in my opinion is one of the best value ones if you want a new Gen Prebuilt PC, especially considering that the 9070 itself is going at a crazy high price. Also, with this system you can play at 4K high to ultra settings, 60 plus FPS on average depending on the title. But of course, if you want to play at 4K resolution, I do recommend you turning on FSR, which is much more improved than before if you want to achieve even higher frame rates than 60 FPS. Now, the total price for this system by the time of filming is about $1,350. That's why in my opinion it's one of the best value systems, because it's definitely not the most expensive PC out there, but it's a new Gen Prebuilt PC that will give you plenty of performance at 1440p and 1080p resolution, and of course 4K as well, depending on the game and depending on the settings. Now, if you want even more performance and you have more money to spend, I do recommend you getting the O11 Vision from Skytech. This one is more pricey, but it comes with the RX 9070 XT instead of the RX 9070 non-XT, which is quite faster, and in terms of gaming performance, you can expect over 130 plus FPS on average at 1440p high to ultra settings in the most high demanding games, which is an insane number. I mean, you can play any type of game really at any resolution with no issues with the new 9070 XT. It's also much faster when it comes to 4K resolution, so if you want to play at 4K but you do not want to spend over 3000 USD in gaming PCs with the RTX 5080 or 5090, this system will be the perfect one for you. And not only that, inside of this system you get one of the fastest CPUs in the entire market in the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. So if you play high CPU demanding games, or if you want to play esports shooters, you can expect very high frame rates. So feel free to go with a 1440p 480Hz monitor if you want to compete, or even a 4K 360Hz one. And of course, if you play at 1080p, you will be achieving very high frame rates in any type of game, but I would strongly recommend you having at least a 1440p monitor with this system. The total price by the time of filming is about 2000 USD, which is pricey, not gonna lie, but it's definitely not as expensive as other systems. Now, if you want to go Nvidia, the best alternative is the RTX 5070 Ti, and in that case you can get the same O11 Vision from Amazon this time. It's a bit more expensive, but it has the 5070 Ti. The 5070 Ti from Nvidia will perform very similar to the RX 9070 XT. In fact, it will be slightly faster on average, and you get DLSS 4, which is slightly better than FSR 4. So you get a better upscaler technology, you get a better level of ray tracing performance, so you get the better graphics card overall, but of course this will come at a premium. Inside of this system you also get the same Ryzen 7 7800X3D, so you get top tier performance when it comes to high CPU demanding games and esports shooters, and you get 32GB of DDR5 memory, so it's an amazing streaming and content creation PC as well. The total price for this system system by the time of filming is about 2300 USD, which is more expensive than the last system for slightly faster performance. In fact, at 1440p resolution with the 5070 Ti, you can expect over 130 FPS at 1440p and over 80 FPS when it comes to 4K high to ultra settings in high demanding titles. With the next system, we have one from HP in the Omen 35L. Now, this PC in particular doesn't have a new gen graphics card, so you might be wondering, why am I mentioning this system? Well, this PC has a 4080 Super, which is still one of the fastest graphics cards in the entire market, no doubt about it, and the price is actually very decent for a 4080 Super system. For around this price point, usually you get a 5070 Ti or 9070 XT type of gaming performance, which is slower than the 4080 Super. With this PC, you can expect well over 140 FPS in the most high demanding games out there at 1440p resolution high to ultra settings. And if you want to play at 4K, you can expect well over 80 FPS on average. Now, I wouldn't recommend you getting a 1080p monitor for this system, but of course, if you have a 1080p monitor and you want to buy a gaming PC like this one, you will be achieving very high frame rates. Alongside the 4080 Super, you get an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor that's going to be ideal for content creation and streaming. So if you want a complete gaming PC, this is going to be the right one for you. You also get 32 GB of RAM, and this time you get 2 TB of SSD, so you get plenty of storage to install a bunch of games or a bunch of programs. Now, this system is going on a discount, and that's why the price is decent at $2,550. Now, I'm not saying it's cheap, of course it's a very expensive price, but honestly, as I said before, most PCs at this price point have a lower tier graphics card. So getting a 4080 Super at this price point is actually pretty decent considering this stage of the market right now. So if you see this system in stock at this price point, I would highly recommend it if you want a 1440p or 4K ultra gaming system. Remember that you will have the latest pricing and availability for these systems down below in the video description. Now, if you want even faster performance, then I recommend you upgrading to the next one, which is one of the most expensive systems in this list, in the King 95 from Skytech. This one has the RTX 5080 instead of the 4080 Super, and the 5080 is one of the fastest GPUs out there. With this one, you can expect over 90 FPS on average when it comes to 4K high to ultra settings in high demanding games, or of course even faster performance if you play with DLSS in these type of games. But of course, it's not necessary with the RTX 5080. Now, another thing that I love about this system is that you get a Ryzen 7 9800X3D, which is the fastest processor in the entire market for gaming, so feel free to max out any monitor refresh rate, and if you want to play high CPU demanding games like Hogwarts Legacy or Flight Simulator, you will be taking advantage of higher frame rates because of the CPU. Here you also get 32 GB of RAM and 2 TB of SSD, so plenty of memory and storage, and the total price will be around 3000 USD. Now, very expensive of course, but if you really want the 5080, this is the PC that I would buy. And then if you just want the best of the best, I recommend you getting the next system, which is the most expensive PC in the list, but it is the fastest new Gen Prebuilt PC that you can get right now, and this is the Skytech Legacy from Amazon. This one has the RTX 5090, which is the fastest graphics card in the market. I mean, over 130 FPS on average. You can expect that 4K resolution high to ultra settings. This is an insane number. There's no game that you can't run. And here you get an Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, which is one of the fastest CPUs in the market for both gaming and content creation. So if you're a professional content creator, this system might be a really good investment. Here you get 64 GB of RAM, which is ideal for creators. For gamers, 32 GB of RAM is all that you need, but 64 for creators is going to be crucial. And then you also get 2 TB of Gen 5 SSD instead of Gen 4 SSD, so you get insane transfer speeds. Now, the price for this system, definitely not cheap at 5000 USD. But if you really want the best of the best and you just don't care about the money that you're spending, you just want a good investment in the best PC, I do think that this system will be the one for you. Now, remember that maybe the pricing and availability will be different when you're watching this video, depending on when you're watching. That's why I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability from the links down in the video description, where you can also find my personal PC help if you want me to help you out find the right pre-built PC or PC build depending on your budget and needs. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.